I can.
Now?
I can.
Is it better
yeah,
now? Okay.
Yeah. Now I can hear you, John. Okay. Yeah, and I can also see you here in the video. Perfect.
Yes. Thank you.
So Joan Lluis is director of digital technologies at Eurecat, where he's promoting developments in areas such as data analytics, big data, artificial intelligence, and much more. He has a huge experience in being working at the Spatial European Agency and also at NTT. And today he's talking us about multi-sector applications and services using 5G. So I let you, Joan, to share your screen.
Yes. Okay. Let me see if I can. You can see it now.
Yeah. So if you want to go to presentation mode.
Yes, it's going there. Okay.
Now we see it. So all yours.
You see it now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Joan.
So thanks, Alex. Thanks, SECPHO, for giving me this opportunity to address you and for this kind invitation. So my talk is about multi-sector applications and services using 5G technologies. I would like to explain a little bit the context why I am proposing to talk about that. And to understand that, let me first explain what Eurecat is for those of you who might who don't know or might not know it properly. So Eurecat is a technology center. We are based in Catalonia. As you can see, we are spread all across the country, and we have operational bases and centers scattered around. And we are very, the mission of our center, as many other research and technology organizations, is to be to perform applied research, applied innovation, especially looking and trying to help companies, enterprises, and the society. Eurecat, from a technological point of view, focuses on four large areas. One is the industrial research, so research on materials, on industrial processes. This is one big block or one big area of activities in Eurecat. Another area is biotechnology. We work on biotechnologies applied for nutrition, applied for omic science developments and things like that. We also have another focus on sustainability technologies, basically circular economy and sustainability applied to resources, water, land, etc. And then we have the digital area, which is the one which is under my responsibility, where we basically like to work with anything related to data. So from Internet of Things to developing algorithms of artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything that is related and it's connected with the value chain of the data. And what I am saying that? I'm saying that because at Eurecat, we are not working on radio frequency technologies, on telecommunication technologies, on network technologies. Therefore, we are looking at the 5G as a kind of purely as users. And this is why, or this is the reason, or the main messages that I will convey through my presentation. So we are not developing technology on 5G, but we are trying to find a way how to use this technology in the frame of our applications, in the frame of our work. Okay, so, well, I think that it could be also interesting to give a little overview of the main developments in 5G here in Catalonia. Maybe some of the audience is not knowing what's going on here, and probably there are more things which are not presented in this view graph, but at least I'm trying to highlight the most relevant, in my opinion, which are taking place right now. So in Catalonia, there is a quite comprehensive strategy for bringing 5G into the society, a strategy which is promoted by the Catalan government, and it has 4 or 5 main axes, as you can see here. So it's promoting the technology, promoting the infrastructure, so creating all the means so that 5G infrastructure can be deployed over the country, of the territory. Promoting innovation based on 5G, indeed promoting the ecosystem. So around 5G, we have the full ecosystem of companies, the startups, and integrating companies, etc. And finally, very important is promoting the talent around this technology. So this is a strategy that is already going on for the last 3 or 4 years. And there's been some successes on it. And actually, Barcelona is known as one of the pilot towns or pilot places where 5G is starting to boost a little bit. Another initiative which is related to the previous strategy, but it has an entity on its own, is the 5G Barcelona. This 5G Barcelona belongs to, or is something that is promoted by the Mobile World Capital Foundation, based indeed here in Barcelona. And one of the interesting things that these people are doing, apart from contributing to the overall 5G strategy, is to try to spread this technology around the Catalan territory, around the Catalan, different Catalan areas. For instance, they are creating these 5G areas, which already 2 of them have been somehow in place, and a few more will be in the future. For instance, there is one 5G area in Lleida, in this interior part of Catalonia, where the focus is on agriculture. There is another one in the Ebro River region, where the focus is rural development. And for instance, next Monday, there will be they will be officially starting up a new area in the region of Tarragona, where the focus is on tourism and industry. As you can see, all those areas try to bring 5G so that it can impact on the traditional economical aspects of those areas. And indeed, the objective is to impact on the ecosystem and try to make aware that 5G technology will be a transforming one in every one of those places. So I think it's a very interesting initiative, and hopefully it will be very productive. And indeed, of course, we have a commercial deployment by companies, by Telefónica, by Orange, by Vodafone, as probably many of you know. So 5G, and I'm sure that this has been explained already in the session, is an enabling factor because of the value that this 5G brings in terms of its capacity, high capacity on transmission rate, its high capacity on, for instance, developing or helping to develop IoT applications, because its high capacity of sensors per square per unit surface, or for instance the low latency. Known examples on critical applications, known examples like applications on autonomous vehicle or applications on health critical situations. But the 5G network, which is the addition of hardware, complex hardware, but also complex software to manage the full complexity of the network, will be enabled for many other things, for applications based on artificial intelligence, applications based on IoT, or indeed the famous A4.0, in the industry 4.0 concept. So we from Eurecat, when bringing back the concept or the idea of the name of my speech, my presentation, we try to focus on applications on industry. And here, one of the questions that we have, you have on the right, you have a table displaying the differences, the technical performance or the technical parameters which characterize 5G compared to other communication technologies. One of the things that we ask ourselves is whether 5G really is, or where, or under which conditions 5G can be applicable in industry. Are all industrial applications, let's say, critical with spectral latency? And probably the answer will be no. Many processes, many industrial processes really can go on and perform quite well without, using the latency parameters or the latency characteristics of 5G. So the point is where we can go to bring value, 5G value to industrial applications. And basically, we believe that there are two big areas of application: real-time processes, for instance, control of mobile devices like AGVs could be an example, but any process where real-time plays a role, where real-time is critical indeed, can be a candidate for implementing 5G technologies. And everything that is related to process automation of systems, wireless systems, for instance, robotic systems where we need to implement automation, that could be a candidate again on using the 5G. So which type of industrial processes we can use or we can improve by using 5G in the industrial context? Well, indeed, predictive maintenance. So if we are able to instrument our factories, our production lines with a lot of sensors, and we have the capacity to recollect all the information, all the data that those sensors are bringing us, and we can do it in a fast way, in a near or almost real time, and we are able to apply after those data our algorithms, which are the key core for this predictive maintenance. We have room for improvement by using this 5G and getting things done in a much faster and in much real-time environment. Safety is another applications where we believe 5G can play an important role. Monitoring devices, surveillance cameras, for instance, and plenty of sensors that we can have in our industrial plants, which are continuously monitoring the environment and can transmit data in near real time. This is a big improvement to this safety functionality, because we can even rely on a complete automatic safety solution. Or, for instance, human-machine interface. 5G, again, will be a key player and a key technology help if we want to have fast devices acting or developed or used in artificial reality or virtual reality environments. So 5G is some technology that, again, will play a good role on all those things. But the point is how we bring 5G into industry, because, well, it's not that easy today, or not so easy today to have 5G in our industries. And actually, there are three main or three potential ways to bring 5G in industries. We can rely on the public network, but for doing this, we need that this network be fully deployed and fully deployed in the areas where we have our factories, our facilities. If we do this or we select this option, indeed, the network will not be under our control. It will be shared by many other users, so we might have problems of collapsing the network, and this might be something that we have to take into account, and it could be a solution, maybe not the optimal one. Another option is to use public slices. It's a very similar one to the previous one, but in here what we are using is one slice of the 5G spectrum, and we can use this solution to implement 5G in our facilities. But another one, which is very much rising right now, is try to identify or try to set up in our facilities this private network. So just to make it, just to make a comparison, is like trying to create a kind of private Wi-Fi system, but indeed using 5G. So in this case, we have our equipment in our premise, we have our radio frequency equipments under our control. The data are under our control. The cybersecurity risks are really diminishing because of this controlled environment, and this gives us as well a lot of computational power, because all the servers, all the instruments that will build this network will be under our control. To make this, to give some examples, very recent news. For instance, this is maybe from beginning of this year. Some manufacturers and some providers are already working on this. Here you have an example. There is an example with the Siemens and Qualcomm providing this private net 5G industrial network. We could find other providers, Ericsson, for instance, which with an equipment that might look like this will help you to produce and to implement a private 5G network at home, at your company. And also here in Catalonia, we also have some developments going on like this. We have this startup, Neutron. It is a startup that was somehow created using the Collider. The Collider is the branch of the Mobile World Capital Foundation here in Barcelona that is dealing and is promoting and starting technology-based startup companies. And there is one which is somehow developing this 5G platform solution. And
sorry, Joan, that I interject. You have about 1 minute, 2 minutes to finish.
Okay, so basically,
thanks very much.
Another point that we have here is the regulation. So the use of these private networks are very much conditioned by national regulations. In Spain, this is still open. So if we want to install this type of solution, we need to talk to companies, to operators, to let them or to ask them to let us use this part of the spectrum. But it's an opportunity that here at Eurecat, we are thinking of this kind of solutions to really implement this from a research and development point of view. And we have some examples here, industrial cases based on our pilot plan on postronics. We are thinking of and we are defining the requirements to implement a solution like this in order to use 5G as the communication means to implement, to research on how 5G is improving industrial processes. We are doing similar thing on digital twins that we are developing on industrial processes that we know quite well in Eurecat, like for instance, plastic injection and similar processes. And we could find other examples like edge computing or industrial IoT. And basically this concludes my presentation. It was short and probably trying to help recover time the overall session. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Joan, for the nice introduction. I'm very happy to, sorry for the nice talk. I'm very happy to see that how from Eurecat you're pushing a bit of this 5G infrastructure in the whole area of Catalonia. I think that the region needs, in general, companies and data centers like yours.
Yeah.
So I don't see any questions in here at the moment. And as we are a bit short of time, if you don't mind, I would probably skip to the next talk. But if you leave your email over here about the chat and someone wants to be in contact with you for possible project or comments, I think that could be good.